Oh my, we are at the start of a new season, and literally everyone has chills right now, waiting for seeing which team they will be allotted in, who will be their teammate for the next season, which tier are they being allotted to. And with me, I have, in a discussion box with me, I have Not So Masoom. We will be, having a look at the grid that we have finalized for our next season, which I point out I think is 12 races long. And me and Masoom will take you through all the grids and a couple of discussion on what we think we can expect in the upcoming season. Obviously, this took a lot of time for us to decide who should be teammates with whom to balance it so that we have the best constructor battle as possible. What do you think about what to expect in the coming season, Masoom?
Yeah, I think as we said, the teams. I think there are some interesting pairings, and I think we're going to have a multiple way constructive showdown this season, and of course we'll have a lot of contenders for drivers the drivers championship as well.
Yep, without further ado, let's just start off with our tier 1 grid. As I think all of our waiting audience has already seen that Kapil and Tanish are paired together in the Alfa Romeo for this season. A Ferrari powered engine. What do you expect that we can see from them? Like, considering Tanish has shown excellent pace towards the end of the last season.
Yeah, I think Tanish, like last season, he was one of the people with the highest amount of raw pace, but a bit of race consistency, and I think he would be fighting for the top three in this season. And talking about Kapil himself, Kapil, I think he's an extremely good sim racer, and I think considering the fact that he did not put a lot of practice into season five, I think next season if he puts a bit more effort than what he did in season five, he would be also consistently in for the points. So
Yeah,
this looks like a strong pairing.
definitely a good combo to look at. Next, we have in AlphaTauri a team of Moto and Abhi 17. We all know that Abhi 17 was really close to winning the Drivers' Championship last season in Tier 2, and now he is paired with one of the fastest boys in our time trial times, Moto in the last season. What do you think about that, Masu?
Yep, Moto another person who is very quick. He did switch to wheel, so I think he might be a bit slow in the opening part of the season. Maybe would be around top six, top seven. But Abhi 17 is also a driver who has been showing a lot of positive momentum since the mid of season five. And I think this is a team that I'm going to bet will improve the most as the season progresses.
Yeah, definitely a team that will look for the most improved award towards the end of the season. Moving on in the Ferrari, in the Prancing Horses, we have Prakhar Vats and Aditya Kalra, who is also known as anhydrous acid. He showed a couple of appearances in the last season in Tier 1, but he was majorly racing as challenger. What do you have to say about them?
So I think Asset is one of the most experienced people in terms of racing in this community. Maybe in terms of pace, he has a couple of tens here and there to find to truly compete in Tier One. But I'm pretty sure, given his experience in racing, I think he's been racing from 2019. So and Pragar is a very new figure and so one of the people who has extremely high raw pace no matter what game he plays. And I think this looks like a very solid team. I would call it the consistent team in all the teams you have looked so far.
Yeah, definitely. The one thing that we all took from the last season was obviously Prakhar was, I think, second in the Drivers' Championship, as well as his consistency, which was unbeatable. Moving on, we have the team of Myth and Freeman. We all know how fast Myth is when he races, and we all know that Freeman will defend for his life if he has to, get that constructor battle. So this team can be a good combination for the constructor. What do you think, Masu?
Yep, I think I'm going to call this a veteran team because both of these people have been racing from 2018. So it's nice to see these veterans in one team, and I think this is going to be a team where we see experience win points for them, and of course, Myth is the fastest in the league anyway. So this is a team I think I'm going to bet good points for the constructors.
For sure. Let's move on to McLaren, in which we have the duo of Baba and Black Sheep, or as everyone will refer to their team as Baba Black Sheep. So we have the nursery rhymes coming back to us, and Baba recently has turned off line. But what do you think about this combo, Masum?
So I think both of the drivers have had a very similar season 5. So I think both of them have showed slivers of pace, but in terms of race management, both of them have been a bit off the pace. But I think both of them are putting a lot of effort into catching up. And this is a team. I think I'm not sure if either of them can compete for top 5, but for sure, like as a constructor and as a team, they look like a formidable force given the chemistry between them.
Yeah, definitely, because both of them are somewhere middle to top field, and if both of them start banging in points, then definitely no one is gonna stop them as well. Moving on, we have the Silver Arrows, team of Helium and Aditya, both new people. But what do you expect from this duo of both newcomers in our league?
I'm expecting good things from them because Helium in evaluation races he did show good pace and Atya also showed good pace. I think Atya was a bit off in race pace, and we did see a bit of aggressiveness from him. But I think both of the drivers will complement themselves each other really well into the season, and of course they will be learning how to navigate the extremely competitive Tier One field as the season progresses.
Obviously, right now this seems like maybe not the experienced team, but who knows? These noobs can even show something to the our pro players in other teams. Moving on, we have the Racing Point, or everyone wants to say in 2020 as the Pink Mercedes, a team of Kaushik Tumala, also known as War Vortex in the previous game, and Shalalak. Shalalak being the Tier 2 driver champion last season. So, what do you expect, Masum, from this?
Again, I think it'll be very interesting to see how these two people play off their strengths. I think Kaushik as a driver is very determined. Well, I think Madhav has shown good pace. I'm gonna bet these two are quite similar in overall pace, but it'll definitely be interesting to see how they progress as a team and how they learn, especially given that they will be now fighting in a much closer field.
Yeah, everyone should definitely remember that even though both are not the quickest, but both do have the pace to, combine it and make this constructor come up on top. Next, we have Red Bull, a team of me, myself, no more pro player, paired with Wilster G, one of the rookie in the last season, but in Tier 2 he showed exceptional pace. So, what do you think about this duo?
So Wilshire really picked up the pace in the second half of the season. We just saw him like pick up like insane pace. Well, I think he was the fastest driver, but he did have some pedal issues towards the end. But I think if he did not have those issues, he would have potentially dominated Tier Two at the tail end.
Yes.
And of course, let's talk about you, Broky. You have been a person who's shown a ridiculous amount of pace, and you have been getting more consistent with every race. So I think this is the team that I would put on a similar note to one of those that I think will show great improvement over the season.
Yeah, thank you very much for praising me. And one note I have for my teammate, please use ERS. That is one thing I will be concentrating on, at least making him do, because last season we saw him not use ERS at all. So if you are watching, please take note from now itself. Moving on, we have the Renault team of Natsumasu, my co-commentator, with Chris Bai. Chris Bai joined, I think, in the last 4 5 races of Tier 1, and he was right up there with fighting with the Top Gun. And we all know how Masum is, our setup god. He knows everything about the setup. So, definitely, this will be the best team to look for, because I'm pretty sure, Masum, you will propel this team just on the basis of setup itself. You don't even need to worry about other things.
Well,
Okay.
let's see. I'm going through a transition period, but let's hope what he says what happens.
Oh yeah, you recently turned offline as well, so yeah, you are
Yeah.
also going full sim racer in this race. So this
Yep.
season, let's see what you can come up with. Uh, and for our final constructor for Tier 1, we have Williams, which has a duo of Eccentric and Ghost. Ghost, who was a bit, was taking a break from F1, but now he has returned back, and in the one evaluation race he participated, he showed exceptional pace. And what do you think about this duo, Masum?
So I think eccentric is right now the person with the like maximum qualifying pace right now as it stands. I think he has after season 5 ended he found a lot of pace and I think he's really demonstrating a lot of pace. And Ghost, he is quick in ACC. And one thing I'll say is if you're quick in one game, You'll be quick in the other as you start learning it, because it's not it doesn't take a lot of effort to adapt your driving style to another game,
Same.
especially for someone as Ghost who has been who has driven similar faced similar situation in ACC as well.
Yep, and not to forget that Ghost did used to race in 2018 as well as 2019. So definitely the F1 skills have also not worn off from him, and we can see a very big progress in Ghost's, performance. I think that's it for the Tier 1 drivers. And as a small note, Tier 1 races will be held on Saturday at 8 p.m. IST. It will be streamed on our YouTube channel as well, so anyone can go there and watch our Tier 1 boys fight it out. Let's move on to Tier 2. Uh, Starting off, we have Alpha Tauri, a team consisting of Avigon, Rogue, and BK19. So, BK19 showed some really good pace towards the beginning of Tier 2 last season, but slowly faded off in the middle of the field. We expect him to come back. What do you think about that, Masum?
So I think BK19 in Austria he was ridiculously quick, but then I think he got caught out by incidents in the latter half of the season. A lot of incidents with other drivers, and Avi also did face some issue with going down the traffic, but overall he showed really good pace. So I think this is a team that looks very promising. Both of them I think are similar in terms of experience in league racing. So I think I would say there's a strong lineup.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Let's move on to our Prancing Horses team of Speedlust and GG17. GG17 being one of our newcomers who I think recently joined our community and only has raced a couple of races with us, but definitely he showed his dominance in those one or two races he participated, and Speedlust being our own old veteran. What do you think about this duo?
So we all know Speedless is quick. We all know that. I think he just needs to work a bit on his consistency. And GG17, I think, is a bit of an unproven driver. I would say he is one of the tail end of the drivers, but I think he can show a lot of improvement if once he's pushed in this particular field.
Yep, that is for sure, and it will be fun to watch what can GG17 bring out in this season. Moving on for Haas, we have Harry Rocks and Akash as teams. Akash also recently joined, but the two or three evaluation races that I also raced with him, he was generally right there in pace with us. Only one or two places he was a bit inconsistent, but if he can get over that, this duo can also
Yep.
bag for the constructor. What do you think?
We saw a really crazy, what do you call, peak pace from Akash, but he just didn't lack the consistency. And I think a similar phenomenon is happening with Harry as well. So perhaps these two could end up complementing each other and perhaps form a really great duo, but you never know. Let's see. This looks like a strong pairing.
Yep, at the end of the day, it's all about teamwork and how you can get that constructor up there. Moving on to McLaren, we have a team of Electrip and Deepak Raj. Deepak Raj, who raced a couple of races in Challenger Series in the last season, as well as he was given a couple of races to do with our Tier 2 boys, where he showed his dominance in the field, and that's why he has moved up to Tier 2 this season. What do you think about this pairing?
Yeah, but I think Deepak Raj, both of these people, I think, are very similar in pace, get along really well, and I think are quick as well. So I think this same pairing would work in the same way as Harry and Akash. Quick, but need to find a bit of consistency, and I'm looking forward to this pairing.
For sure. Moving on for the Silver Arrows, we have Cryptid and Anton Lee, who also goes by the name of Rant in our community. Cryptid did race a lot of races in the last season in our Tier 2 championship, and he was right there in the top 5 fighting for uh, that podium every race. And Rant, we all know that is really quick. If he can be consistent, and he will be definitely this season. What do you think?
Yep, on some days, on his good days, Rand is tier 1 pace, but I think he has been lacking a bit of in terms of race management. Same with Cryptid as well. So I think I've seen a lot of pairings that are similar to where we have drivers so quick, but needs to find that consistency, and I think there's another one into that list.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to the Red Bull, we have a team of RB Ferrello. His name itself suggests Red Bull, and he's paired with Rambo right now. So, what do you think about this combo?
we know RB is very quick, and he's also very consistent. He doesn't usually put a foot wrong. Maybe not in terms of like pushing for the times, but in terms of consistency and in terms of intelligence, he is pretty good. And Rambo as a driver is also quite experienced. So I think this is a very consistent team. Lots of pace as well. So I think I would put this team as one of the top teams to fight for the constructors.
Yeah, for sure. Because RB, if I'm not wrong, RB was in Tier 1 last season, and Rambo, if I'm not wrong, finished in the top 6 or top 7 in the drivers' standings last season. So definitely a combo to watch for the constructor battle. Moving on to Renault, we have a team of Freeze and What the Fuck Chicken, who is also the brother of our very own Stuart Head Black Sheep. So probably some mentoring coming from his big brother as well. So what do you think about this combo?
I think Freeze really showed in Silverstone he was on another level. He was very much quicker than everyone. I think Freeze is a driver who will fight for WTC in Tier 2. Chicken I think showed slivers of good pace, but I think he will improve over the season. And I think this is also another team that will be fighting for the top spot in the constructors.
For sure, we know that he will definitely get more guidance from his big brother, and probably we can even see him in the tier one
Yeah.
in a couple of seasons.
Ho-
Uh,
ho- 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 Hopefully we don't have a Stewart game, but let's go.
yes, for sure. Okay, so moving on to our last team. I think if I am wrong, please forgive me. Is Alfa Romeo a team of Evil Dog and Monk? So Evil Dog has been demoted to tier 2 compared to last season, but definitely that will not stop him from being as quick as he was last season. As and now he is paired with, I think these both people are friends, so now there will be some chemistry going on in that team. What do you think?
Yep, I think these two are people who are very intelligent, doesn't get into incidents and makes the most, and generally outscores the amount of points that their pace should get. And I think this is a team that's going to be very strong. I don't know if they can fight for top three in the constructors, but for sure there's a very strong pairing, and they'll probably punch above their weight.
Yeah, for sure. These people know how to keep it out of the trouble, so we have to see how they do it in the upcoming season. Another note: so Tier 2 races will be held on Sundays at 8 p.m. IST, provided real life GP does not interfere it. In that case, it will be pushed forward by an hour or hour and a half, or half an hour, not hour and a half an hour or hour, which will be informed on time by time basis. But for now, it is Sundays 8 p.m. IST. This and all the tier 2 races will again be streamed on our YouTube channel. Moving on. Oh, I think I missed one team. Yep, I was correct. So we do have a team of Racing Point, the Pink Mercedes. In this team, we have Faizan and Scary Pumpkin. Faizan, we all know, is a very old veteran in this game. He is here since season 1, if I'm not wrong. And Scary Pumpkin, the last season when he came and the couple of races he participated, he showed who is the boss. What do you think about this team?
So I think this is a team that is Scary Pumpkin. We know is quick, and Faizan. I know that he's quite intelligent in terms of the racecraft.
Yep.
Especially in terms, he will fight for he will do anything to fight for the highest position as possible. So I think this is a team which I think is going to do pretty well as well. Maybe even top four in the constructors.
Yep, even my banking will be in the top 5. This team can come. But nevertheless, tier 2, as an insider info, it was the worst. It was most difficult to decide the grid because the field was so close to each other, and we could not really come up with a proper decision whom should we pair with. So let's just see how it pans out. We are expecting a very close grid, but hey, someone has to win the race, someone has to
Yep.
come below, outside the points. So that is just the nature of this game.
Yep.
We are left with Williams as well. I am off point completely. So we have Williams, Sid Kulkarni, and Crazy Joe. Crazy Joe being one of the new people in this community, but on a keyboard. So he is joining our league of keyboard gods, and he is pairing this time with Sid Kulkarni, who raced a couple of races in Tier 2 last season and showed really good pace last season. So what do you think about this, Masu?
again, I think this is another team that will be fighting for top three in the constructors. Sid is the quick guy. He was quick in PS4, and I think it's only a matter of time before he gains the pace here as well. And Crazy Joe is a driver very similar in vein to many others. He will show the pace. I'm pretty sure, and he will have the consistency to deliver a good finish every time he's out on track.
Yep, the one thing that we saw during the evaluation races is that he can keep it clean. Even though he is on keyboard, people should not underestimate him. He can keep
Yep.
it clean.
Yep.
Yep, and we are officially done this time. So let's move on to tier 3. A new tier that we introduced this season because of the inflow of drivers, and we definitely want everyone to have the fun of league racing. So, tier 3, starting off with Alfa Romeo, we have a team of Neon and Shohamde 46, who is also on a keyboard and one of our keyboard warrior club members. So, Neon as well. So, this will be a team of both keyboard players. And what we have seen from the evaluation races is that Neon just improves exponentially. There is no linear improvement in Neon, there is just exponential improvement. What do you think
So
about this?
for me, I'm just gonna say it blank. This is the strongest team in tier three.
It seems like it at the beginning. Let's see what other if others can come and challenge
Yeah.
this team. We do have, I think, 4 places vacant in tier 3 at the moment, but yeah, definitely everything will get filled by the season start based on how drivers are coming in. Moving on to Alpha Tori, we have a pairing of KKK and Driver Trick. KKK is also known by, I'm not sure, Masum, what's his Discord name?
Alphabot.
Yeah, Alphabot. So yes, so we have seen him race a lot of times with us, and we have seen his dominant pace, keeping it a bit consistent. And what do you think about this duo, Masum?
I don't have much info on Driver Trick, but he does look promising. And Alphabot, I think a bit of racecraft required here and there, but looks promising as well.
Yep.
So in tier three, it's a bit of an unknown most of the teams.
Yep, that is true. We will get to know as the season unfolds.
Season.
Yep. Driver Trick, yes, his time trials time seemed pretty decent,
Yeah.
so we can expect him and Alphabot to carry this Alpha Tori team ahead. Moving on to the Prancing Horses, we have Jacob since 98 and VK as teammates. Jacob since 98 has not attended as much races with us, I believe, Masum, so we won't be able to comment
So
on him.
yeah, we cannot comment on this team, but let's see how the team progresses.
Yep. Moving on to Haas, we have a team of our very own Bioride, and he is paired with Rad, who is also known by some other name, which I think we should keep it disclosed for now. We will tell it as they see it in the races. But yeah. A couple of races in which we have seen Bioride. He was there racing with us in Challenger Series last season. He was not that quick, but he could fight for easily the top 4 or 5 in the tier 3 at this current rate. What do you think about that, Masum?
Yep, I think so. Let's see how this team goes. Once again, this team I think needs to show a bit of consistency, but
Yeah.
they look okay.
Yes. So moving on to uh, McLaren, we have the team of Vinay and Nifty. So obviously, I hope that Nifty does not fall down and market keeps rising, and so does Nifty keep rising in the points. But apart from that, Vinay, who was a tier 2 driver in the last season, has shown that he can race with the tier 2 boys as well. So this can be a strong team. What do you think?
Yep, I think this will also be a strong team. I think it's going to be interesting. A similar team, I would say, to Biorad and Rad, I would say.
Yep, that is very much true. Moving on, we have a team of Ruka 23 and KG. Ruka 23 participated a lot of evaluation races. If I'm not wrong, in the last evaluation races in France, he did come in the podium. So he knows how to keep his nose clean, even though I think he is on a keyboard. But yeah, he showed really good pace in that race. KG, I think we don't have much idea. Masum, do you have any idea about KG?
I think he did show good pace, but we don't know exactly how he'll show on track. But let's see.
Yep, let's see what he has to show on the track as the season unfolds. Moving on to Renault, we have a team of E-Rock and Hackster E-Rock again showing really good pace, but sometimes he used to get involved in incidents which used to
I
cost him the
think
race.
both of the drivers had the same issue where they had pace but then could
Yep.
not get out of incidents. So that was what ultimately caused them in the evaluation race. But it'll be interesting to see how it
Ye-
goes season 6.
Yeah,
Yep.
hopefully, if even if in one race one of these drivers keeps their nose clean, then they can definitely score some points for the constructor. Moving on to Williams, we have the team of Dodiman and Nihar. Dodiman has shown really good pace in our evaluation races, so that will be a spectacle to watch in Tier 3. What do you think about this team, Masum? Do you have any idea about
Similar,
Nihar?
similar. I think they're similar to the teams that we have seen earlier. A bit of consistency required, but has pace, has potential.
Yep. So one
Yep.
thing we can see in tier 3 is definitely as the season starts going forward, we will see close battles, and who knows, some of these tier 3 drivers will even come as close as, or maybe not even start beating the tier 2 drivers. So it will
Yep.
be exciting to watch. With that, we are done with our
Yep.
grid.
On another note, we'd like to announce the reserves for the season. So, starting off with Tier 1, so in Tier 1, the reserves will be the Real ST and Oxygen. In Tier 2, the reserves are Baby Driver, also known as Piyush Gandhi, Soham Day, and Soham Day is not a reserve, he's in T3, so my bad. We have Thermophobe, who's also T2 reserve. We have Abhi 54510, I think known as Abhishek Dubey, in T2 reserve. We have Death Hunter 23 and Mobanga 13 as T2 reserves. And in Tier 3, the reserves are currently Ripe, DJ, and Ashrock.
Yep, so just to clarify, the concept of reserve will be if there is a seat vacant, you can come and race, which trust me will be vacant. So any of the T2 reserve, whenever you feel like racing, you can always approach to any of the coordinators or mark your
Yep.
attendance even.
The information will be provided in Discord, so you guys
Yep,
don't have to worry about that. Now, moving on to the calendar.
yep, let's.
Okay.
Wait. When I say. Okay, so moving on to the calendar. Right now, we do have a calendar which we have made so as to make sure that the racing is the best and it is as close as possible to all the drivers as it is. We will be starting off with Spain. Masum, can you take us through the calendar?
Yep. So we will be having freezing testing in Spain. Then we'll be jumping over the mountains into the Styrian mountains of Austria. Then to the street circuit of Baku. Then to the amazing circuit of Suzuka in Japan. Followed by is the Sakir International Circuit in Bahrain. Then we go to Paul Ricard in France. Then we go to Spa Francorchamps in Belgium. Then to the fan favorite Silverstone Circuit in, of course, the United Kingdom. Then we go to Shanghai in China. Then we go to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. Then we go to of course, the Kota circuit in the United States of America. Then we go to the Interlagos in Brazil, followed by Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore, and we have a season finale in Monza, which is of course one of my favorite tracks. So, and I think that's the same for a lot of drivers. So we have a calendar which has a mix of where overtake will be easy, but in some tracks where qualifying will be ever the more important.
Yep, for sure. I hope that we see a
Your
lot.
voices are not
I
getting.
hope that we see a lot of close battle towards the end of the season in Monza, especially, and the dates and all will be fine. It is almost finalized. We will add a tier 3 date as well, and everyone can find the calendar once they have gotten their appropriate roles in league info as well on our Discord server. Going to the we will be starting off with the pre-season testing in Spain, which will happen on March 6th, which is this Saturday and this Sunday. So we are right off kicking off the season this week itself.
Yep. So it's definitely. Now with the season 6 announcement out of the way, we have an announcement for ACC as well. We would like to announce that we have got an affiliation with Coach Dave Academy. So what this means is that we'll find our affiliate link in the description below, and if you play ACC, you can go to that link. You'll be able to find content from Coach Dave Academy, and for every purchase you make, you will be the prices will be in INR, and there will be a discount on select products. Additionally, we it will be a way of supporting the community, as we get a commission for the purchases you make, and hopefully this will allow us to give back to our racers, and we hope that moving further, this is the beginning of something bigger for IRC, and hopefully we can go to much greater lengths as a community, and of course improve in all possible aspects.
For sure, this is a very good opening for our community. With that said, we will be ending the stream now. It's been already 8:30. Thanks everyone for watching. If you missed your name, don't worry. We will be posting out announcements soon after the stream is over as to which team or which constructor you belong, and we will be giving everyone appropriate roles based on their tier so that everyone can start league racing for our IRC season 6, and we will be back on the track this Saturday at Spain